Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good midnight. Whatever your case may be, greetings. This is Coach Sherry, Chaplain Sherry, your community pastor Sherry. This is Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue. On this fourth Sunday in Advent and also Christmas Eve. I pray that all is well with you. I pray that this day is finding you in the best of health and the best of wealth, and that you are prospering, meaning that all is well with you. On this Christmas Eve, where I am in New Orleans, it is raining. It is a very dreary day. And for many people, it's not only dreary outside, but there is a dreariness on the inside. Even though the songs are being sang, the Christmas carol, all of those things, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, or let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, or all of those songs that we sing. But the truth of the matter is, many people are just not feeling it. Even though they go to church and the songs are being sang and the preacher is, preaching, and no doubt today that text is from Isaiah 9:6, for unto us a child is born, a son is given. But yet through all of it, you may even be shouting. You may even be raising your hands. You may even be singing from the top of to the loudest of the loud. But the fact remains, it's really not beginning to look alike like Christmas. Welcome everybody for joining me. This is Coach Sherry, Reverend Sherry, Chaplain Sherry, your community pastor Sherry. Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue. I'm not doing any makeup this morning. I've done that already. I'm not even doing any baking. I'm just simply talking to those who are trying to navigate what may be a time of darkness for them. So welcome as you're coming in. Would you like, share, tag, and all of those things? Because I believe that there are more people than not, for whatever reason, they just are not feeling festive. They are not feeling festive. They are trying, they are doing all that they know how, but they can't get there. For them, this is a season of darkness. It is a season of darkness due to losses, due to trauma around this season. And I, for one, and maybe this is why I'm coming today, to let you know, based upon my own experiences, that indeed you may not be feeling it. I'll be the first to raise my hands. I'm a preacher. I'm a Holy Ghost filled and fire baptized, all of those things. But I really can take or leave this holiday season. And I've got a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion, as Dr. Marcus D. Cosby says, that I am not alone. And so I want to encourage us where it may be darkness all around us mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Can I remind us that God does God's best work in the darkness? That God does God's best work in the darkness. As Dr. Will Gaffney says, it's a holy darkness. For us, it may be a problem, or, it may be, we think that darkness or is the worst thing that can happen. But I'm reminded that God is not afraid of darkness. That God does God's best work in darkness. Perhaps that's why Dr. Gaffney calls it a holy darkness. Because God does magic work, miraculous work in darkness. Sherry, what are you talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Even when you were conceived, it was in darkness. Oh yeah, the lights may have been on when the physical sexual act was going on between your mom and your dad. But the inner work, the meeting of the egg and the sperm took place in darkness. Took place where nobody could see what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on, but God was doing a work. And out of that darkness comes you. Well, you're not convinced of that. You're not convinced of that. Let's go all the way to the beginning. In the beginning, even going back to the Genesis text, when we say that the world was, full of darkness, it was chaotic. It was void. And out of that chaos, out of that darkness, out of that, God created a world. So I guess I'm trying to say that the darkness is a creative space for God to do a holy work. So what are we to do in this season of darkness? What are we supposed to do when it seems like everything around us is dark? We can't see the light that other people, we see the Christmas lights and we see all of the twinkle, twinkle. We see it with our physical eye, but it means nothing to our spirits, to our souls. I pose this question: what does the weary soul do when the soul cannot rejoice? Might I suggest to us that you sit in it, that you not try to rush past it and act as if it is not happening to you? There are some things you cannot fake until you make it. You just have to sit into it and let it do its thing. But might I suggest something else to you? That as we are in this season of darkness, literally or figuratively, I believe that we can rejoice. Why? Because we know that God is not afraid of darkness, and God does some of God's best work in darkness. That it is out of darkness that light comes. If there is no darkness, there is no need for light. And God creates. The darkness is a canvas for God to do God's magic, God's miracles in your life. On this Christmas Eve, I simply want to say, there is coming a light. And for Christians, we believe that Isaiah is indeed prophesying in Isaiah 9. All of Isaiah, certainly, but Isaiah 9 and 6 that talks about a child is coming. A son is going to be given. The world is, the government will be upon his shoulder. He will be called Wonderful Counselor, Prince of Peace, and thousands of years later, we call that child Jesus. It is out of that darkness that this child burst forth. It is out of that darkness that God creatively fashioned a child that can give us hope, can bring us peace, can bring us joy. Because that God loved us. So if you are in a season of darkness, sit in it and just know that God is doing a great work. May all be well with your